everybody and welcome back to another trip report. Today I'm here at Adelaide International Airport in South Australia, and today I'm going to be flying Qantas on board a 737 from here in Adelaide over to Sydney in New South Wales on board a 737 QF740. Okay, so I'm here at the wonderful Adelaide Airport. I have just arrived off a flight from Melbourne, which is why I'm not out there. But yeah, so here at Adelaide Airport, Rex have their own check-in area over there, Virgin Australia, Qantas, and then there's a select few international airlines that operate that have check-in at the end there. So anyways, let's go over here, check out the new Qantas self-check-in kiosks and check in. Okay, so it looks like you actually have to scan the QR code and check in online. I'll let you know how it goes later. Okay, so check-in completed. Not sure that I like these new ones. I like how responsive they are, but you have to check in online and then scan your boarding pass to print bag tags. But you can't reprint a boarding pass, which is the only reason why I came here back through security to do it. So I had to go up to one of the staff and ask them if they could do that, and they were very helpful, so they did that for me. So check-in completed, I have my boarding pass, and now let's head through security and go get something to eat, and thanks to some lounge passes that I have, go into the Qantas Club lounge a little bit later. By the way, when checking in with Qantas, you do also have the option of going to a desk, I believe, and there is priority check-in desks for Qantas Gold, Platinum, Platinum 1, and one was Sapphire Plus, frequent flyers, as well as business class passengers. Anyways, back to going through security. Okay, so security check now completed. It's not very automated, but it did go through pretty fast, or I went through pretty fast, it didn't take long, so that's good. It's not too quiet, but it's also not packed here at Adelaide, though I've never really seen it too crowded. It's a beautiful and modern airport and departure terminal here. There's a lot of very nice food options. I'm going to grab a toasted sandwich from just there, and maybe a muffin or something, and a little bit later we'll head to the Qantas Club Lounge. Maybe do a little bit of international plane spotting while we're at it. Okay, so now that I've had a very tasty toasty, I think it's about time to head to the Qantas Club Lounge here in Adelaide. I've heard that they're going to be opening a domestic business lounge here in Adelaide. I'm not exactly sure the details or when it's going to open. Okay, so just opposite gate 21 and 22. My gate today is gate 20, so pretty close. Here is the Qantas Club Lounge in Adelaide. I have reviewed it once before when I flew from Adelaide to Brisbane, so nice to revisit. Looks like there's a little bit of a queue. Okay, so I've entered the Qantas Club Adelaide Lounge. I did link lounge passes, I'm sure I did online, but it didn't appear up on the system when the very friendly lady had a look at the desk, and so she just said that I could just go through. So I thought that was very nice, and it made it so much easier for me. Okay, let's go and have a look at what this lounge has to offer. So here at the Qantas Club Adelaide, there's barista coffee just here, and I think there's a few drinks there too. Like there's a bar, a customer service just here. I believe the Afghanistan cricket team is here at the moment, which is kind of cool. And then here's a lot more seating. It's a pretty big lounge, but it's quite dull, I must say. Okay, let's have a look at the food selection. So just here, we have a toaster, a few selections of bread, apples, bananas, salad, cheese, ham, corn chips, carrots, all that kind of stuff. And then just a bunch of random bits here. Potatoes, bread, and I think over there's also some soup. So yeah, there were some other people over there at the time though, so I won't show that right now. Looks like there's a drink station over here. As for the food selection over there, it was in the Virgin Lounge earlier today. Not as impressive as that. Also not too bad though. Okay, so here is the drink selection. Once again, a nice selection, but nothing extravagant. All in all, a pretty average selection of food and drinks. Okay, so just exited the Qantas Club Lounge. I see a Qatar Airways 777 over there. Very interesting and nice to see. In fact, I think I saw that one in Melbourne earlier today. Anyways, I'll show you our plane for today in just a moment. Firstly, about the Qantas Club, I think the best way to describe it would be very underwhelming, and the food selection was average at best. The actual lounge itself, the facilities was pretty decent, however, it was just quite dull in there. So yeah, overall, just as I said, underwhelming. But yeah. Okay, so our gate for today is gate 20. We should be boarding in the next few minutes. And let me show you our plane for today. Our plane for today is just parked here at gate 20. The plane that will take me over to Sydney today is Victor Hotel Josh Victor Zulu Alpha, or VH-VZA. It's a 2008 built and delivered Boeing 737-800. It was delivered brand new to Qantas. This aircraft was also the first Qantas plane to be painted in the corporate Nuru livery, according to AussieAirliners.com. So this will be my ride over to Sydney. It's currently painted in the silver livery. All of Qantas's Boeing 737s are Wi-Fi equipped, by the way. But yeah, some of their older 737s, maybe even this one, they're all quite old, but some of them are going to be replaced with larger aircraft, such as the A220 and A321 Neo. So yeah, as much as I do like the 737s, I think they are getting really old and do need a little bit of a change. So yeah, should be boarding any moment.
To ensure all of your luggage travels with you today, please bring forward any bags that you do not need during the flight now, and we will stow them for you at no charge. These items will be available on the arrival baggage belt at your destination. Thank you.
So Qantas have just announced that due to it being a very full flight, not everyone will be able to fit all their carry-on. So that's, yeah. So something I forgot to mention earlier is I'm very interested to see how Qantas is these days. Haven't flown them for a while, and they've been in the news a lot with a lot of criticism recently, which I've had my own issues with them, which I might talk about later in the conclusion. Anyways, in just a moment, I think it's about time to board. So this line that you see here is for people that are giving baggage to Qantas to put in the cargo hold, since I don't know how, but I think they've predicted that it's not all going to fit. So, yeah. I think boarding might be delayed by a little bit due to this. We're already running 10 minutes behind schedule.
Hello everyone, and welcome to Qantas Flight 740 to Sydney, which is now ready for premium boarding at gate number 20. We'd like to invite our business customers, eligible Qantas, Emirates and Hong Kong frequent flyer customers on board Qantas Flight 740 to Sydney to board now via the premium boarding lane. Hello everyone, Qantas Flight 740 to Sydney is now ready for general boarding on the left-hand side. Customers seated in rows 15 to 30, Customers seated in rows 1 to 14 are asked to board via the aero bridge, with those seated in rows 15 and beyond asked to board via the rear stairs. Customers are reminded that the use of electronic devices on the tarmac is not permitted. Please ensure you have your boarding pass ready to scan as you pass through the boarding gate. And once on board, please ensure your smaller items are placed under the seat.
I'm good, thanks. How are you? Okay, now time to board. I always like the glass aero bridges here at Adelaide Airport. However, they are pretty hot and stuffy. Hi.
How are you?
Good, thanks. How are you?
Oh, yeah, I'm good, thanks, sweetie. There you go.
Thank you. Welcome aboard the Qantas 737-800. Business is in a 2-2 layout with 3 rows of seats, a total of 12 seats. Economy is in a 3-3 layout. My seat for today is 7F. When boarding from the front, the left-hand side of the aircraft. Nice view of the engine. Okay, so welcome aboard the Qantas Boeing 737-800, seat 7F in economy class. Now let's go through the seat features. So first off, there's no IFE on this aircraft. Some of them do have it, but this one is not one of them. There is overhead screens which will probably pop down for the safety video. There's a tablet holder here, which I very rarely use that. Tray table here, which you can fold down. It has a lot of crumbs on it. It clearly has not been cleaned since the previous flight. Not very impressive, but you can pull it out and push it in, and it's actually very big. The legroom on this aircraft is average at best. It's 76 centimetres or 30 inches. Compared to the Virgin Australia 737 I flew on this morning, it's actually a very noticeable difference. But, you know, for a 2-hour flight, it's definitely something you can deal with. Seat back pocket here, it's nice and big. It has the Qantas magazine, the Qantas safety card and sick bags. There's, I think, audio entertainment there, however I don't know if that actually functions. The headrest is very, it's very hard, but once you actually get it adjusted, it doesn't want to move, which is probably a good thing. Makes it easier to sleep without the headrest falling back. So, yeah. And finally, there were a few crumbs on the seat when I got here, but nothing major. So, yeah. Oh, there's also coat hooks on the side here, which look like they've seen better days. So, all in all, that's the seat features for this aircraft. Oh, and finally, forgot to mention, 2 USB ports between each 2 seats. So, yeah, that's definitely something that Virgin, Rex and Jetstar don't all have yet, but some of Virgin's new planes do have it, and I think the Jetstar A321neo also features it. So, yeah, Qantas aren't going to be ahead with that for too long. Keep in mind, if you're in the middle seat, there's also an entertainment box there too, which is probably not ideal. Anyways, overall, I think probably the main competitor.
Welcome aboard. Once you have found your seat, please place your larger bag in the overhead locker and your smaller bag underneath the seat in front. We do have a very full aircraft today, so any smaller bags underneath your feet will accommodate those other passengers still embarking the aircraft.
Okay, so overall, the main competitor on this route is probably Virgin Australia. Legroom definitely beats Qantas there. It's a lot better, really. It is noticeable, but for a 2-hour flight, it's probably no big deal. The headrest, it's a lot softer and is more easily adjustable on Virgin Australia, but it does move out of place quite easily. The tray table, this one's slightly bigger, but it's not like a necessary thing to have it bigger. also a lot of crumbs on it, so that's the downside. The Wi-Fi and the USB ports, however, does make a big difference, which probably would make me say overall that I think this seat is slightly better than at Virgin Australia. It's also padded a tiny bit more. So apparently the final cabin door is now being closed. There's been a lot of issues surrounding, as the cabin crew are calling it, the wheelie bags. They want people to put it in the, well, they want people to check it in because it's not enough overhead bin space.
Cabin crew, please arm your doors and cross-check.
Now time for pushback.
Welcome to Longreach, the home of Qantas. Give us your attention for the next few minutes to make your journey a safe one, as we take a journey through 100 years of innovation and Australian spirit.
This here's an Alpha 504 biplane, made from timber and canvas. You'll find it at Qantas Boeing 737. Sounds a bit flasher than this old girl.
In the 1930s, Qantas are world leaders in aviation innovation, with fully enclosed cabins and inbuilt seatbelts. Fasten your seatbelt by inserting the clasp into the buckle and tighten by pulling the strap. You can undo your seatbelt by lifting the flap. Keep it done up low and tight during takeoff, landing, and whenever the seatbelt sign is on. That includes infants and children. While seated at other times, we recommend that you keep your seatbelt fastened.
And that exit. Lights will guide you to your exits. Your crew members are pointing them out now. Welcome to the 1970s, when Qantas first introduced business class.
Before you get under...
Your aircraft is fitted with smoke detectors, including in the toilets, so there's no smoking until you're back on the ground. This includes e-cigarettes, whatever they are.
It was a Qantas employee, Jack Brand, who invented the very first inflatable escape slide raft. Your aircraft today is fitted with escape slides, which the crew will operate in emergency. If you need to evacuate, leave all items behind. Slide leaning forward with your hands on your knees.
Your safety card, also in your seat pocket.
Your crew are here to help, so please follow your instructions at all times.
Whether you're starting your journey or heading home.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for showing respect to each other and our crew. Thank you for your loyalty. Thank you for your support.
And thank you for your attention. Have a great flight.
Now time for takeoff. Our route today then took us west out of Adelaide Airport before swinging around to the left, heading in the direction of Sydney. We then made a right-hand turn before then turning back left and landing in Sydney from the south. Flight time today was 1 hour 39 minutes at a cruising altitude of 37,000 feet.
Aboard our Qantas flight to Sydney. We're well underway now, just climbing up to 37,000 feet. A little bit more cloud to climb up through, maybe a couple of light bumps as we do climb through it. And expecting fine conditions for the rest of the flight. Flight time 1 hour and 30 minutes, and on our current estimates it has us touching down about 5 minutes past 4, disembarking shortly after that. So touching down at 5 minutes past 4. There is a half an hour time change between Adelaide and Sydney, and the current time in Sydney is 2:36 p.m.
Okay, so it sounds like we're going up to 37,000 feet. The crew made an announcement saying that there is no in-flight Wi-Fi on today's aircraft. It does exist because I can see it in Wi-Fi, but it just won't connect, so I think it must be down or something's wrong with it, which actually means no in-flight entertainment app or entertainment with the Wi-Fi. So the only thing we've got left is the good old-fashioned views, and these TVs have dropped down and are playing Sky News or something, I think. And of course, since we're flying Qantas, we do get a refreshment service. Okay, so I believe we're up here now at our cruising altitude of 37,000 feet. Cabin crew have come around. I thought I must have heard wrong when they announced what the meal was. Today the meal is a cheese and spring onion sandwich, which is certainly not something that I ever would have expected to see in my life, to be honest. And if it wasn't for the review, I definitely wouldn't be holding this. But it also comes with caramelised onion relish. Maybe I'll be pleasantly surprised, but it just doesn't sound like something that goes well together. But yeah, I'm trying this for you guys. So yeah, I think most people apparently have rejected this, and I can't blame them, to be honest. Maybe you'd like it, but it doesn't sound like something I'd like. So that was the only option in terms of what to eat. And then with drinks, there was tea, coffee, water, soft drinks, and mineral water. I went for the ginger beer today, which is nice and cold, and I can actually hear it. Must have been frozen or something before. So yeah, I'll let you know how this is later. It's had a couple bumps on the way up, but otherwise it's been pretty smooth. And, well, until this, uneventful. Okay, so still up here at our cruising altitude. I've just finished the refreshments that I got. The cabin crew now coming around to do the first round of rubbish collection. First, I'd like to start off by saying that sandwich, in my opinion, was really, really bad. I didn't like it at all. I don't think I could eat it. I don't think I could have eaten any more. Even if I really wanted to, it tasted really gross to me. There were a select few people on this plane who seemed to have eaten it all. Some people might like it, but not me. In case you forgot, it was cheese, spring onion, and caramelised onion relish. But there was like some other mayonnaise or cream or something that was in there with the cheese. It was not great at all. So I didn't enjoy that. However, I did enjoy the ginger beer, of course. So yeah. Once again, it's very, very underwhelming, uneventful. There's nothing going on and not much to do, considering there's no entertainment.
Now please ensure your seat back is upright with your seatbelt firmly fastened. Your tray tables and your footrests must now be stowed and all window shades open. We We also ask that you remove all cords and cables from the seat back charging ports. Now, I do have some arrival details for you. So today we will be arriving at gate 6 and your bags will be available at carousel number 2. Now, if you are continuing on an international flight and you hold a boarding pass, please make your way to gate lounge number 15 for bus transfers to the international terminal.
Just about to go through the clouds, so the captain has turned on the seatbelt sign.
Customers and crew must now be seated with their seatbelts firmly fastened.
Something I'd also like to mention before we land about Qantas is that I've had so many bad customer service experiences. As I know, a lot of people had, not just with wait times, but with flight credit terms and conditions being absolutely absurd. Let me know in the comments if you actually want a full video about that. I reckon I could do about a half an hour long video just ranting on about that. But yeah, I do think that will play a little bit of a part in my conclusion a bit later. But let me know in the comments if you would like to see that. With that very nice Boeing 737 landing, welcome to Sydney Kingsford International Airport.
Well, welcome to Sydney, where the local time is 3 minutes past 4 p.m. Qantas would like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the lands and waterways in which we live, work and fly. We would also like to pay our respects to elders past, present and emerging. Now please remain seated with your seatbelt fastened until the seatbelt sign is off. And as always, smoking, vaping and the use of e-cigarettes is not permitted whilst disembarking or throughout the terminal. Now please take care when opening the overhead lockers as baggage may have moved and could fall out. And before leaving, ensure you check your seat and seat pocket for personal items and take all used masks and wipes with you. Now today we will be disembarking using the forward door. And if you can reach your mobile phone, you can switch flight mode off now.
there's been a kid watching kids shows for the whole flight behind us. It's the best entertainment Qantas has to offer. Now time to disembark. Hi, thank you.
You're welcome, darling. Thank you.
Welcome to Sydney. Haven't been in this terminal for a while, actually. Okay, so I think now's a pretty good time to start the conclusion of today's trip report. Well, our journey started at Adelaide International Airport in South Australia. Check-in was, I liked the responsiveness, but I didn't like the system that the new check-in kiosk used. I just don't like having to check in online and not being able to reprint boarding passes. So that wasn't ideal. Security in Adelaide was fine, nothing special. Adelaide Airport itself was actually really, really nice. I love Adelaide Airport, it's probably my favourite domestic terminal in Australia. So, yeah, Qantas Club Lounge was very average. Like if you had the option to use your lounge pass elsewhere, like in Melbourne or Sydney, I would probably do that. But you know, it's not that bad. It's still solid. So, yeah, here's our plane, by the way. And then once we got on board, well, it took a while to get on board because we had all these cabin baggage issues, which was actually really quite frustrating. Didn't affect me, but what indirectly affected me, because it was just a lot of, delayed us a bit and a lot of announcements about it and stuff. So, yeah, not ideal, but we ended up getting underway about 30 minutes late. And then once we eventually got in the air, I was greeted by a cheese and spring onion sandwich, which was really quite, I'm not going to say disgusting, but it was really not tasty. So yeah, couldn't recommend that at all, but didn't really have a choice. And then, so overall the refreshment service was, in terms of quantity, I think it was pretty solid, but the food that we got was just bad. But the drink selection was pretty solid, and past 4 p.m. or something, I think, you do get alcoholic beverages too. And yeah, the crew were pretty friendly, so were the ground staff, which is always nice. The seat itself was fine. It wasn't one of the IFE equipped ones. However, it was the seat was intact, which I have had issues with on other Qantas flights. Looks like I need a little bit of a windshield spray there. So, yeah. And then finally we ended up landing about 20 minutes late, so made up about 10 minutes, but not too much. But it's really nothing major. So, yeah. So my conclusion, and also the Wi-Fi wasn't working, which is really annoying. So my conclusion would have to be that, once again, let me know if you want a full video on the customer service, but the customer service is the worst that I've ever seen in any airline. This airline is meant to represent Australia, and I think it does, to be honest, a pretty terrible job of that, because Australia is such a nice country, and this airline does not reflect that anymore. I really hope that Qantas can get better, but at the moment I really just don't enjoy doing business with them, I should say, because the flying part's actually probably the best part, like just the booking and customer service and all that's so bad, and the fact that this costs something like double what Virgin Australia and Jetstar offer. Today's flight, the only thing different from a Jetstar flight was the USB ports, and I didn't even use it. So it's definitely not worth paying extra for Qantas even if you have Qantas Gold status, I'll leave that up to you, but I wouldn't definitely say that it's worth it. So, yeah. Anyways, I'd like to thank you all for watching today's video. It means a lot to me just watching this, but if you liked it, then a like and subscription would be so much appreciated, and it would make my day. If not though, that's okay, it's not required nor expected. Check out my website aviation763.com for information on upcoming flights. Thank you to all my absolutely incredible Patreons who help to make these videos possible. Finally, thank you all for watching once again. Have a great day, and I hope to see you in my next video.
Well, welcome to Sydney, where the local time is 3 minutes past 4 p.m.